Hello everybody, welcome back to Resinette, or welcome to Resinette if you've never been here before. So I'm back with our coaster molds to match the turtle tray that we did. And let me grab it really quick. Just to kind of refresh your memory. Here it is, it just turned out so pretty. And I'm excited to get the matching coasters done. So what we're gonna do is I've got my diamond dust, and I'm sorry I didn't mention this before. This is by Flora Craft. Okay, and I got this, I believe, either at Michael's or I might have bought this on Amazon. Okay, it's really pretty. It's kind of like, just kind of like crystals. Do you see that? It's not really like glitter. It's more like, almost like sugar, if that makes sense, but with like little shards instead. So what I want to do this time is I'm going to just add a little bit. This time I decided I also want to add just a little bit of this ultra fine snow glitter as well. Okay, it's just a really fine white glitter. And since our coasters are so small, I just want to add a little bit into this. I've got about, I don't know, a couple ounces in here. This I am using resin today. Oh, that's pretty. That should just give it some really nice sparkle. Okay, I don't know if you can really see in there, but kind of a nice little sparkle going on. Not too much. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just pour a little bit. I'm going to divide this up between these 4 coasters. Maybe about a ½ ounce in each one. So when it gets down into these little grooves, this glitter, this little extra fine glitter here should kind of settle in to the little areas. And this is not going to be very thick. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of like let it run down there. Oops. There may be some micro bubbles in this, and that's okay because we're doing a water scene. So as long as it's not right around the edges, I don't want any bubbles around the edges there. And I see a few. I should have gone ahead and given it a quick spray of alcohol. Might actually do that on this one. Just to kind of help prevent them from gathering down there. Okay, there we go. And it looks like it did cover everything pretty well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little plastic spoon here, okay, and I'm going to take just a little bit, about this much of this diamond dust, and just kind of sprinkle it around in each one. And where it lands, it lands. Doesn't have to be even. It's just going to give a little extra something in there. If you end up buying this set of molds, oh, that's what I was going to tell you guys. I don't know if you've been checking back, but when I made the tray mold, the tray part was sold out on Temu. But last I looked, I went ahead and I got the link posted in the tray video because I got the email saying it was back in stock. But I think what I'm going to do is start, when that kind of thing happens, I'm going to post on my community page. And if you follow me or get notifications, then you should get alerted right away when I have things like that happen where you're waiting for something to come back in stock. The price at the time was, for that tray mold, I think was about $4 and something cents. It was not very much. And then they also had the coaster molds to match. Okay, so that I added a little bit of resin because I saw it separating here, and I don't want it pushing all of the glitter and everything away. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll just try to mix that all in. Just do a tiny bit just in that area. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put these 4 in my curing machine so that they can start thickening up so that we can do the next step. Okay, everybody, I am back, and what I'm going to do now is these are just kind of sticky cured, okay? I put them in the curing machine for a little bit, and they are not cured, but they are kind of firm and cured. So here are some of the turtles that we had left over from our big turtle. The sheets come with several different sizes, and this one here is a bit too big. So I'm going to be using these other 4, and I think it's going to be just fine that they're all a little bit different sizes. So I'm going to go ahead and just peel these off. Okay, and they come like this. So now somebody asked me when we did the tray why I bothered doing the sticky side up. And I'm going to go ahead and spray this with alcohol now, because I remember that was kind of a problem before. And the reason I'm doing it this way, even though it's kind of less convenient, is because I want the textured side of this coaster to be facing up. Okay, so if anybody else was wondering why, that's why. Otherwise, we would be looking at, this would be the, you know, the textured part would be on the bottom. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. And this resin is actually just a little bit, as I put that turtle in, I realized that it's actually a little more cured than what I wanted it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and get my resin made up so we can do the next part. Okay? All right, I'll be right back. Everybody, I am back. I've got some resin made up. I'm using, I'm still using this Let's Resin. Pour some in here. Just a little bit easier to work with there. Give it a quick spray. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour just the tiniest bit here, just a little bit. I want it just really shallow, just like before, just enough for that turtle to have a spot. I don't want enough for it to float around. I want it just enough just to have him stay where I want him. I had somebody ask me last time why I waited to put the turtle in, and the reason is because I used the glitter and the diamond dust there, is I just didn't want it to interfere with my sticker. I just didn't want like hard chunky spots underneath my sticker, and it just doesn't look right to me. It doesn't look right when that kind of thing happens. Got a little bit of a bare spot here I see, which is no big deal. Might as well cover it now. Okay, just gonna like let these spread around just a bit. There we go. We've at least got a start of it kind of spreading out here around the little coasters. So let me grab my stickers here. Now I am going to go ahead and spray my stick this time because I had a sticky mess the last time with these. So I'm going to just kind of start on one side here and kind of roll him into the resin. Kind of lay him down this way. Kind of helps prevent bubbles to do it that way. And Once I've got him where I want him, and I think he's going to stay there, then I can go in and just put a little bit of resin over the top of him. And we will do that here after we get these other guys in. Do the same thing, just kind of roll him in. If you've watched my channel much, you know I use all kinds of stickers and decals, and the wall art, they're great because usually they're all vinyl, and even these little turtles here have like a translucent, there's not a white outline, you know, which when I'm using stickers like that, I don't want white. I want it to be translucent around the sticker. So I really like these. They were really inexpensive on Temu. I think that we have the link to it is on the tray video. This little guy's a little bit smaller. Come in the center. And last one. Just kind of rolling him down. There we go. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to add just a little bit of resin over the top of these guys. Just a little bit. They're not moving around. They're kind of just staying put. I don't want to go too much resin though, because I want to do a background color. Okay, so now we've got a bit more resin in here. I'm so excited to see what these are going to look like all together on the tray. I think they're going to be really pretty. It's going to be a really fun set. And it is, you know, we're at kind of fall weather now. It's not so much summer, but okay, so now what I'm going to do is whoops, I'm going to stick my fingers in the resin. That's what I'm going to do. Paper towel. All right, so now what I think I want to do is I'm going to add a little, oops, I'm going to add a little starfish to these little trays. And let's see, I just want some smaller ones, I think. Smaller one, especially for this big guy here. And I don't know if you do very many ocean-y type scenes, buying these starfish like this are wonderful. I get them on Amazon and they're really pretty reasonable for the amount you get. If anybody is interested in links to starfish or anything like that you see that I'm using that I don't have a link out, just let me know. I'd be happy to find it for you. I think the starfish is going to go this way. Here. Could go ahead and add just a couple of shells. And I'm not going to arrange them really. I'm just going to put a few in here. All right, you guys, that's all for this part. Well, now when this part's cured, then we will come back and do the next step. Okay, we'll put a backing on them and then we'll be all done. All right, I will see you then. Hello, everybody. I'm back. Our coasters are completely cured, so I'm ready to do the next step. And I've got a few comments, and I noticed when I was editing videos that my background was super light and it was hard to see the molds against the white, the majority of white background. So I went ahead and changed it to something a little darker. I hope this helps. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and use this Pixis alcohol ink, one in Lake, one in Ocean. And we're going to do a combination of both of those colors to finish backing these off. And since I didn't do a white background on my big tray, I decided I'm not going to do a white background on these. Now, I might go ahead and do a cork backing, which would kind of give it the same look as sand, I feel like. But we'll just take one step at a time here and see. I've got 8 ounces of J. Diction made up, and I've got some bubbles in here. I was actually kind of thinking that I need a t-shirt. I might have to get a hot press or whatever, or a heat press, and make myself a t-shirt that says bubbles are my friend, because I tend to kind of like the bubbles in a water or like a translucent. If I'm doing a lamp or something, I kind of like a little bit of bubbles. I know that's kind of weird probably, but I just do. Give a little bit of alcohol in there, even though we're going to add alcohol. But let's see, I think I want to do the majority of the the coasters in this Ocean. And I don't know if I showed you the cured piece or not. I'm going to try to get a little bit better at this too. I noticed that I do tend to move things around a lot and do this. It's because I'm thinking and I'm not really paying attention to what that looks like on the camera. So I apologize for that. I'm going to try to get better at that. So I'm going to put 2 drops of Ocean in here. Let's see how that looks. Now on the other one, on the tray, we added the clear cabochons on the back. Don't really have room to do that on these. I could add those little, I do have some little clear plastic. They kind of look like beads, but they're not, but they're a lot smaller. Could look at doing that maybe if we felt like we needed something. I feel like that's just about the right shade I wanted. Just kind of this really pretty, I like to call it like a Caribbean blue or Caribbean green. It's almost like a, not quite a Tiffany blue, but pretty close here in person. Maybe more like a robin egg blue. Okay, there's that. And now we're going to do this one in Lake. Come off of there, lid. And 2 drops of this one as well. I'm not going to worry about wiping my stick off. I really don't care that much if a tiny bit of this other color gets in. This one looks pretty translucent. It's a very light blue on a shallow backing here. I don't know. I might need to add a bit more. Might be a bit too light, actually, because this is only, gosh, maybe about, you see there, only about maybe 1/8 of an inch do we have to work with. So it's not going to be, the colors are going to not show very dark as they do here in the deep cup. Okay, there we go. That's all I'm going to do for that one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this Ocean color here. And just going to kind of go about part way and add a little bit of blue before it all kind of comes together. And same over here. see what I mean though? They're showing up very, very light and translucent. So we actually really might need that cork backing. There we go. Let's see what we got here. A bit more over this one. Just making sure everything's covered. I'm excited to get these out and get them all put together with the tray. I think it's just going to be so much fun. Okay, so there is that, and I'm going to set those over on my curing rack to cure. I don't think I'm going to put them in the curing machine, but that is a possibility if I feel like it's taking too long. Because, you know, these are thin, so the thinner your resin piece is, the longer it takes to cure. The reaction just takes a little bit longer than it does if you have more resin, deeper. Okay, and there we go. All right, I will see you back here when these are all cured. See you then. Okay, so one of the things, I did move one of these over to the curing rack, and then last minute I thought, shoot, I didn't put any of those little clear plastic thingies in here, so I am going to just sprinkle some more diamond dust and let it kind of sink in and see what we get from that. Some areas can be a little thicker than others. Okay, just wanted to show you that real quick. All right, I'll be back when it's done. Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm back, and the coasters are completely cured, and I'm excited to get these out of here and see how they're going to look together with the tray. So let's go ahead and get them out of here and see how they look. Just love that textured side here on the bottom. Hoping that this is going to just turn out really pretty and be a good match with that tray. So let's turn it over and see, and not wait, just see. Oh gosh, look at it. How cute is that? Now we didn't do the extra like cabochons through here. So you can see that it's a little bit, the texture's a little bit different, but that's okay because I wanted to do the background with the coaster backing to make it look a little bit like sand under there. So I'm hoping that that's going to help. Otherwise, white would also be nice, but this is really pretty. It's really shiny. The mold is just got great effects. Now, here again on the sides is that nice little diamond pattern around the edges. So I don't want to do anything to the edges because I really like that. But what do you guys think of this one? See our starfish and our little shells. It definitely looks like it's sitting underwater. So let's go ahead and get the rest of them out of there. We didn't do anything but add a little bit of diamond dust to these, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a sparkle and kind of a watery look underneath there. Yeah, I like how it looks with the starfish and stuff under it. Definitely looks like it's underwater. Here's this one. They all basically look very similar to one another. Here's the back. Really pretty. And here's our last one. Now, if you remember, some of these turtles were a little bit bigger than others. This one was one of the bigger turtles, and this here is one of the smaller ones. But I think it's just kind of fun having them be a little bit different. Some of them are facing, two of them are facing the opposite directions. So it's really just kind of fun, and it kind of adds a little bit to it. So my thought is, what do I have here for my coaster? Now, we'll look at a couple of different things. Here, this would be if we did white on the back. And you can see, again, that really makes this pop. The blues from the water, just a little really subtle light blue, and the light kind kind of ocean color do come through with the white, okay? Just really subtle, and it's really a pretty look. But let me look what it would do if we did, see what I've got handy. I've got my round coasters, but what I've got handy right here is my square one. So I'm going to use this just to kind of see. Now, okay, so this is what I was planning. See how it looks kind of like sand underneath there? You do kind of lose your seashells. You see how we have a shell there, maybe one there, and they kind of get lost. The starfish doesn't get lost as much as I thought it would. But here they are. I think, gosh, the white really kind of looks better, doesn't it, you guys? It really makes the water, come through. Well, we might have to go ahead and stick with the white. And I can still do a cork background if I decide I want to do it this way. And I can use some UV resin. To make this stick. And usually what I do when I want to do that, ooh, that's got a little sharp point there on the edge of that one. But when I want to do that, sometimes I'll just go around and I'll just seal this just really lightly. Like put a tiny drop of UV resin on it, take my little coffee stir stick here and just kind of go across like this. And what it does is it just kind of helps seal the cork to this label that's actually meant to peel off. But I like using these sometimes because do you see how it has kind of a, it's kind of got a little bit of a shine to it. Not really a high gloss, but just kind of almost like a matte shine, if that makes any sense. So yeah, there's that. There's also something like this with the, like the little hologram, little stars and different things in it. You see, not sure if the light is showing right on that or not, but we could do something like that behind it. You know, oddly enough, I actually think you lose something by using this. I think all the diamond dust we put in there just kind of looks like clumps when you have it behind the holographic part. I like it really better just on the plain white. I am going to go just run this by a couple of my family members really quick and see what they think. But yeah, I really think the white is going to look better. So, okay, I'm going to gather supplies and I'll be back here in just a little bit. See you then. Hello, you guys. I am back to get these done. So, you know, I'm having just the worst time. Every time I put this white on and I think, oh gosh, that's so pretty. It brings out all the colors and the shells and you can see everything, the starfish, pretty. And then I turn this over and I think, but gosh, that looks actually kind of natural too. It actually does look like sand below. And I actually kind of like this too. So I'm really kind of torn. I think what I'm going to do is I'll do these two in white, doesn't really matter. And these two in the sand color. So what I'm going to do for these sand colored ones is I'm just going to go ahead and peel the backing off of these. And these are really sticky. If you haven't used them before, I've never had any problem with them coming off. So I just go ahead and stick them. Some people I know use glue as well, but I've never had any need to do that. So there it is. Okay, so actually, you know, I kind of like that look. It actually really does kind of look like like he's swimming over the sand. Okay, I know the colors don't pop as much, but it actually has a little bit more of a realistic look to it, I feel like. And we'll do this one the same way. Really sticky. Just gonna line it up this way. Kind of easier doing it that way than doing it upside down, I feel like. Okay, I'm going to just push it back, making sure it's on there nice and tight. Okay, so there's that one and this one. And yeah, I don't have any regrets with that. I actually I mean, that, if you look, it really actually does look like sand. Okay, so those turtles are good to go that way. Do we do a couple with white, or do we just do them all this way so they match? Can't believe I'm changing this up last minute, because I really thought I would do white, because that really is pretty too. You know what? I'm gonna make them all with the beachy sand color. I'm afraid that the white with that tray is gonna pop almost a little too much, and then I'm gonna have to go ahead and do a background on the tray. And I just kind of want to keep it simple. And gosh, I think that is gonna be pretty simple and pretty. Got just a teeny tiny bit of a lip here. I can just go in and snip that off. All right, I got to tell you, I'm actually really kind of happy with this. Kind of surprised myself though, because this wasn't my intention to use this color. I just kind of thought, well, maybe I'll do two, and then last minute, goodness sakes, I can't get off there. Last minute, I just kind of thought, nope, I want them all to be the same. Okay, so go down straight over this. There we go. Oh my gosh. What do you guys think? Really, really pretty. I love it together. Okay, so now let me get rid of this and let me grab my tray and we'll put it all together. Okay, here's our tray with our turtle. If you can see some angles, you can definitely see more of it. It's really pretty. I love how this turned out. And now we've got our little turtles to put on top of our tray, and I think it just turned out so cute. Really fun end of summer project, and gosh, I love it. I really love it. Let me know what you guys think about this, and I'm so excited. Okay, so what do you think now with it together with the tray? Don't you kind of think that this background was better? The white would have been really, it would have just stood out too bright, and then this would have just been lost. But this little cork backing just made a really subtle background for those coasters, and it just turned out great. Great, great, great. So happy, love it. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this encourages you and inspires you to try something fun and different. And I will see you all next time.